Before we begin, if you enjoy this kind of video, please subscribe and leave a like. I'm just getting this channel started, and your support really means a lot. And one more thing, tell me in the comments what topic you'd like to see next. I read every suggestion, and your idea could become our next video. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered if the life you're living is truly yours? Or have you been following a path that someone else chose for you? Once you see what we're about to explore, you may never look at your own choices the same way again.
Have you ever walked into a room and felt yourself change? Your voice a little softer, your smile a little safer, your true thoughts pushed deep down where no one can see them. Maybe you wear what is popular not because you love it, but because being different feels risky. Maybe you nod when people share an opinion you do not really believe, because peace feels easier than honesty. Maybe you buy the new phone, the new shoes, the new look not from joy, but from the quiet fear of being left behind. And maybe late at night, when the noise finally stops, you wonder where your own life went. This is not weakness. It is human. We all want to belong. We all want to be safe, liked, accepted. But what happens when belonging costs you your own soul? What happens when the crowd is not outside you, but living inside your choices, your desires, your fears? Could the greatest prison be the one you have never been able to see, right in front of your own tired eyes?
Before we blame social media, we need to notice something deeper. This pressure to fit in is very old, older than phones, older than cameras, older than cities. For most of history, being alone was dangerous. A person who stayed with the group had food, help, protection, and a place by the fire. So the human heart learned a simple lesson: follow the crowd and you may be safe. That lesson still lives in us. At work, we may laugh at a joke we do not find funny because nobody wants to seem difficult. With friends, we may hide our real taste in music, clothes, or dreams. In a family, we may choose the expected path just to keep peace at the table. In school, a student may stay quiet even when they know the answer. Online, we may post what gets likes, not what feels true. This does not mean we are weak. It means belonging feels warm, while thinking alone can feel cold. But one philosopher believed this hidden force shapes almost every human life from the shadows.
Have you ever liked something not because you chose it, but because everyone around you liked it first? Friedrich Nietzsche looked at this quiet habit and asked a dangerous question: are we living our own lives, or just copying the crowd? He saw that people often follow the group because it feels safe. If friends laugh at the same jokes, chase the same jobs, hate the same people, buy the same things, and call the same dreams normal, we begin to think those choices must be right. Nietzsche called this herd mentality. It does not mean people are stupid. A smart person can still copy. A kind person can still follow. The herd is simply the pull to believe, value, and act like others without stopping to ask, is this truly mine? You can see it online when people repeat opinions before thinking. You can see it at work when nobody questions a bad rule. Nietzsche wanted us to wake up, not to be lonely, but to become honest and brave enough to choose what feels real inside us, right now.
Nietzsche warned that people often hide inside the herd, not because they are born weak, but because belonging feels safe. In the 21st century, the herd can fit inside your phone. Like say, yes, you are accepted. Followers say, yes, you matter. Viral trends say, join us now before you are left out. Algorithms do not need to be evil to shape you. They simply notice what keeps your eyes on the screen, then give you more of it. This can feed old human instincts: fear of being rejected, hunger for praise, love of simple answers. Online outrage can feel like courage, but sometimes it is only copying the anger of the crowd. Cancel culture can remind people to be careful, but it can also make honest thought feel dangerous. Notice your own hand. Do you check who liked your post before asking if it was true? Do you repeat opinions because they are yours or because they are safe? That small pause is where independent thinking begins. The constant search for approval ends when you can stand alone.
Have you ever changed your laugh because someone looked at you strangely? Maybe you said you liked a job you secretly hated. Maybe you studied a subject your heart never chose. At first, seeking approval feels safe. It keeps peace. It wins smiles. It avoids that cold silence called rejection. But slowly, fear becomes the driver. A young man who loves drawing chooses banking because his family says art is childish. A woman who wants quiet love stays loud and funny so nobody leaves. A worker hides good ideas in meetings because one laugh years ago still hurts. Little by little, careers become cages, relationships become performances, dreams become secrets, and opinions become borrowed clothes. The sad part is not only losing chances. It is losing the inner voice that once said, "This is me." Still, there is hope. Each honest no, each small true choice, each moment you stand gently in your own life brings you back. Approval is sweet, but self-respect is home. And home is where your real life begins again, quietly, bravely, today for you.
What if the cage around your life is not made of iron, but made of the voices of other people? Nietzsche saw that many people do not choose their values. They inherit them. They repeat what family, school, church, crowds, and fear have placed inside them. His alternative was not hate everyone, trust no one, and think you are better than the world. That is another prison with a prettier name. To think for yourself means something quieter and braver. It means looking at your beliefs and asking, do I really believe this? Or did I only learn to obey it? It means noticing when shame, habit, or the need to be liked is making your choices for you. Nietzsche wanted a person to become more alive, more honest, more able to create a life they can stand behind. But this does not begin with loud certainty. It begins with reflection, with patience, with the courage to question the thoughts that feel safe. So ask yourself, does true freedom begin the moment we stop living entirely through expectations from others?
You wake up, check your phone, and see what everyone is chasing. At work, a friend gets promoted, so your own path suddenly feels too small. This is the herd teaching you what success should look like. At dinner, couples post perfect smiles, and you wonder if your love is behind. This is the crowd selling one shape of happiness. In the store, people buy the newest thing, so your old shoes feel wrong. Fashion turns belonging into cloth. When money talk begins, everyone praises bigger houses and louder lives. Fear starts spending in your name. During elections, your group says one side is evil and thinking becomes risky. Politics becomes a tribe before it becomes truth. At night, the same shows, songs, and jokes fill every screen. Entertainment trains our taste while calling it choice. Online, likes feel like small votes on your worth. The mirror becomes a market. Even dreams can be borrowed. You may want a life that looks approved, not a life that feels awake. If so, breathe. You are not bad. You are noticing now.
Imagine this. The loudest voice in your mind is not really yours. Nietzsche would ask you to notice the herd inside you, the part that repeats what others praise, fear, or hate. Modern psychology says the same thing in gentler words. Much of our thinking is automatic, so begin small. When you feel sure about an opinion, pause and ask, where did I learn this, and do I truly believe it? Spend a few minutes each day in silence without music, screens, or advice. Let your own thoughts become less frightening. Notice when you want approval before you act. You do not have to reject people, just stop making their praise your only food. Before reacting to anger, shame, or pressure, take one slow breath and name what you feel. Each day, make one small independent choice: what to read, what to wear, what to say no to. You will not become perfectly free. No one does. Independent thinking is not a trophy. It is a daily practice, a lifelong road, and every step can make you more awake today.
Tonight, let us go deeper than comfort. Look at your life as if you found it in the hands of a stranger. Your dreams, your opinions, your plans, your fears, your idea of a good person, where did they begin? Maybe you chose them. Maybe they were placed inside you slowly, by a parent, a teacher, a screen, a song, a wound, a country, a crowd. Maybe the voice you call mine is made of many voices that arrived before you could defend the door. When you want success, whose picture of success are you chasing? When you feel shame, whose eyes are watching? When you hate something, who taught your heart to tighten? This is not a riddle with a clean answer. It is a mirror that does not stay still. If you remove every borrowed thought, what remains, and would you even know it? Sit with that unease. Maybe freedom begins there, not with certainty, but with trembling. And maybe the hardest part is this: the answer may change each time you dare to listen alone in silence.
At the end, the question is not where the crowd begins, but where it hides. It may stand in the street, shouting with many voices. It may live in a screen, glowing in your hand. But it can also sit quietly behind your eyes, wearing your fears, your habits, your need to be liked. Sometimes the crowd speaks as your own thought, and you obey before you even notice. This is why freedom is not simply leaving the room, closing the door, or walking far from other people. A person can be alone on a mountain and still carry 1,000 borrowed voices inside. True independence begins in the small pause before yes, before no, before following, before judging. In that pause, you remember that your mind is not a public square unless you hand over the key. The deepest courage is not loud. It is the quiet refusal to let any voice, even an inner one, become your hidden master again. So tomorrow, when life asks you to choose, listen closely and ask who is really speaking inside you.